back, and I'm back again. Money chapter, the lady or the tiger. Take the correct alternatives. The king was full of wisdom, emotion, fancies, yet good manners. Option number C, fancies. The king was happy when they went right, they went wrong. People came with suggestion, or people gave him gifts. Option number B, things went wrong. The princess loved the young man who below her in status. State whether true or false. The arena was meant for gladiators. It is false. The fate of the criminals was decided in the court of law. False. Justice, good or bad, was always delayed. False. The ladies to be kept behind the doors were selected through the beauty contest. It's false. When the criminals were killed by the tiger, the song of joy used to be sung. False. Quite often, the beasts were also brought to the arena for fighting together. It's false. The princess was a barbaric as her father. False. The princess was free from jealousy. False. The mind of prince was full of conflict. True. The lover of the princess was killed by tiger. False. Answer in 30 to 40 words. How was the king different from his neighbor? Her neighbor his neighbor were known for the kindness and the good manners. The king had also learned a few manners from them. Still, she was uncivilized and lacked a good manner. मतलब जो किंग था मतलब उसको जाना जाता था काइंडनेस और गुड मैनर्स के लिए, लेकिन स्टिल उसने बहुत सारे न्यू फ्यू मैनर्स सीखे थे, फिर भी वो बहुत ज़्यादा अनसिविलाइज था और उसमें मैनर्स की कमी थी. वाई वॉज अ किंग हैप्पी व्हेन थिंग्स was went wrong? किंग क्यों खुश हुआ जब चीज़ें गलत थी? When the things went wrong, he was happy. वो खुश इसीलिए था. He got an opportunity to set them correct क्योंकि उसको मौका मिला चीज़ों को सही करने के लिए. He often loved to make crooked straight and to crush down disorder in the kingdom. How did the king use the arena? The arena was a method of culture to the culture the lives of his subject. In this arena, human and beast used to perform before the audience. इसमें क्या होता था एरेना में कि ह्यूमन और जो बीस्ट होते थे वो साथ में ऑडियंस के आगे परफॉर्म करते थे. इट ऑल्सो हेल्प द किंग टू asset his fancies. If the accused chose the door with the tiger, what happened? अगर accused वो डोर चुनता है इसमें टाइगर हो तो क्या होता है? If the accused chose the door with the tiger, the hungry tiger will jump on him and tear him into pieces. तो क्या होगा कि टाइगर आएगा और उसको खा लेगा. It was a punishment for guilt. और ये punishment दिया गया जाता था उनको कोई भी guilt के लिए. The people used to become sad and think about the young and fair accused. और लोग बहुत sad हो जाते थे इस चीज़ से. If the accused chose a door with the lady, what happened? और अगर accused lady वाला door choose करता तो क्या होता? If the accused chose the door with the lady, he would marry her immediately. वो उससे तुरंत शादी कर सकता था. The people gave their approval and innocent brought home his new brides. Answer in 60 words. Describe the characteristics of princess. The princess had all the qualities of her father. उस princess में सारी qualities थे जो उसके पापा में थी. On the day of trial, she discovered the secret of the door. जिस दिन trial था उसने वो secret discover किया था door का. Because they had the fate of her lover, it was a choice between the death and the marriage of the lady and the tiger. However, she made a quick sign with her hand and directed her lover to the door on the right. The decision was already difficult for her. She was horrified to think about her lover being killed by a hungry tiger. At the same time, she equally jealous to the beautiful lady chosen for the occasion, so she was not free from hatred and jealousy. Semi-barbarian. Why was the audience surprised? Audience surprised क्यों थे? On the day of trial, the arena was packed with audience. With the signal was given, the princess lover entered the arena. The audience was surprised to see him because he was very handsome and attractive. Audience इतना ज़्यादा surprised क्यों थे? क्योंकि वो बहुत ज़्यादा handsome और attractive था. It was possible for the audience to believe that such a handsome man was living among them. The princess was bound to fall in love with the handsome man, but nobody could change his fate. His misfortune had brought him to the terrible arena. What had the princess discovered about the door? The princess was a royal daughter. Princess जो थी वो royal daughter थी. She had power, influence, and plenty of gold to discover the secret of arena. She had passed several sleepless nights thinking about her lover. She could not see her lover being killed by a hungry tiger. At the same time, she was unable to bear the presence of another lady in her lover's life, but she had lost her love. In this situation, She might have discovered secret at the door with the lady so that her lover might live in the world. What did the princess feel when she imagined her lover opening the door that hid the tiger? When the princess imagined her lover opening the door that hid the tiger, she was horrified with डर गई. She imagined the horror of her lover being killed by the hungry tiger. The scene moved her heart. The scene mover her heart moved. She is in her dreams and had discovered a face with hands. She did everything to hide her from cruelty. She had lain awake at night imagining the cruelty of the scene. Although she was hot blooded and semi barbaric, she had a heart which could feel pain and suffering. What did she feel when she imagined her lover opening the door of her lady? She imagined her lover opening the door of the lady that hid the lady. She screamed and tore her hair. She became restless, her soul burned in agony at the sight of her love rushing to the lady with whom he was to be married the next moment. Her tear has no meaning as they lost in the joy of marriage. She was left to live though misery of the possession, the happy couple and the shouts of crowd. The princess had enough barbition in her that their love affair was dramatic, too dramatic. The princess was very dear to her father. She was passionate, fanciful, and strong like a lover. Unfortunately, she fell in love with a young man who was below her status, but he was brave, handsome, and daring. He also loved the royal daughter from the core of his heart. Their love affair remained a secret for months. The princess could not forget the Barbizon her dramatic love affair revealed to her father to put the young man to the prison without hesitation. So their love affairs was dramatic, too dramatic. What could the princess find the secret of the dough? The princess was a royal daughter. She had power, उसके पास power था, influence था, बहुत सारे gold थे. She has a strong position to discover the secret of door. तो वो डोर का पता लगा सकती थी, डोर के secret का पता लगा सकती थी. She did find out the secret of the door for occasion. Finally, she was able to know the rooms in which stood the hungry tiger in which she waited the lady. It was the reason why she was impatient to make her presence on the day of trial. Comment to the king method of dealing with justice. The king method of dealing with justice was public arena. The human and the beast used to perform before the audience in his arena. It was a very big amphitheater with encircling galleries, mysterious walls, and unknown passages. It was a place where king poetic justice was often delivered. It was also the place where crime was punished or virtue was rewarded. However, punishment or reward was absolutely dependent on the fate of the accused. What do you think came out of the open door, the lady or the tiger? It was difficult to give an answer to the question. Everything depends on the thought of the author had left at the end of the story hanging to the air. After the princess lover was put in the prison, he had spent several sleepless nights. She was horrified to imagine a lover being killed by the tiger. At the same time, her heart was in anxiety to imagine her lover rushing towards the lady. In fact, it is a fact that she had already lost her lover. But she had desired to save him. As she had sufficient power and influence to know the secret of the door, she did it. She was also present on the day of trial so that she could help her lover. Consequently, she made a shine to the door on the right side from which the lady might come out. What deeper message had the communicated story? Undoubtedly, the story was a lot to say. Importance of choice and the consequence that result from this choice depend on the fate of the accused. The king had created the public arena with a purpose. He never interferes in the choice of accused. Actually, the accused choose is one which decides its destiny. The king's choice does not matter in this scheme of dealing with justice, whether the accused is killed by hungry tiger or get married with a beautiful maiden is a subject of fate for the accused. So fate plays a major role in one's life. Now, find from the lesson the suitable substitute. The king was uncivilized and much like as a savage. In ancient Rome, the gladiators were forced for bloody fight. The fate of criminals was decided in the amphitheater. The princess was a semi-barbaric as her father. Great wails went up from the hired mourners who posted outside the arena. Fill in the blanks with appropriate words, that is hungry, glory, arena, judgment, tradition, hatred. Hated. In the public arena, humans and beasts perform before audience. From the gate, a hungry tiger could come out and kill the accused. The arena built with a man was not the glory of gladiators. The king knew no glory from other king. There was no escape from the judgment of the arena. Fill the blanks with noun. At last, the princess took decision to deal with the situation. The trial would go as planned. The tiger tore the accused to pieces as punishment for his guilt. The king allowed no interference with her design. The bell rang and the audience shouted in approval. Next is okay, complete the para with choosing noun, adjective, or adverb. The king behavior the king behavior was savage as he looked like brutish. People were well known as the whimsical nature and thought it's better to keep distance from as no person dared to become his advisor. His decision was self-made, but the most frightening ones were his judgments dealt to out to criminals. There was two gates in the public arena. Behind one gate hid a furious tiger, and behind another gate there was a most glamorous girl of the land. But nobody had knowledge at which gate hid the tiger and which gate hid the girl. It was only the stroke of fate that decided whether the accused could have grace of the girl or the fury of a tiger. Next is okay, choose correct alternatives. Which of the following word best describe the king? Submission, obedience, savage, or barbaric? It's option number C, savage. Next is the setting of the story is related to circus, medieval Europe, ancient Europe, yeah, for Arabian country. It is option number C, ancient Rome. Which word described the princess lover? Coward, bold and daring, rustest, and brood. It's option number B. That is bold and daring. What kind of tiger was usually kept behind the door? Weak, tame, fiercest, ever old. It is option number C. Fiercest. Who used to choose a lady for the accused person? King, minister, the king himself, or the subject? It is option number C, the king himself. On the day of trial, probably the lady come out of the door, the tiger come out of the door, a bear came out of the door. Certainly difficult to say. Option number D, certainly difficult to say. The king method of justice was a section between rich and poor, strong and old, death and marriage, or musician and it's option number C, death and marriage. The royal daughter was like a young man, subject, her father, or the king's man. Option number C, her father. When the young man entered the arena, he was bold and confident. Who gauged the signal made by the princess at the arena? Only her lover. State it's true or false. The king Latin neighbors was great idiots. It's false. Only the religion heretics were tied in public arena. False. The fate always helped the accused person in the arena. False. The accused was free from a pressure to choose any of the door. It's true. The accused person often knew the secret of the door. False. The fate of the accused person always made the trial most interesting. It is true. The princess lover was a commoner. It's true. The princess was jealous of the lady behind the door. True. The accused person opened the door to the left. False. The princess took the long time to indicate the right hand door. False. Answer in 30 to 40 words. How was the king most powerful? The king very much liked fancies, enthusiasm. As the king, he was able to put into the force some of his fancies into practice, so he was very powerful. What is the amphitheater? In the ancient Rome time, an amphitheater was an oval unroofed building. It has seats rising behind and above each other round in a space. It was used to public games and amusement. What decide the punishment of the reward of the crime for crime in a public arena? In the king in the king's scheme of poetic justice, fate had a great role. The chance often decide the punishment or the reward of the crime in the public arena. What